All right, everybody, welcome back to another Midweek Business Connection. We are excited because we have a very special guest. I mean, he's been on here numerous times. Also, he's a great friend of ours.
Yes, he often comes and visits us. He supports almost all of our events.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he has to be doing something extraordinary not to come to our events. It has to be something super personal.
Very personal or something.
Yes, but he is always there for us no matter what. He represents District 4 here in the city of West Covina. We have the pleasure of having today Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
Ollie Cantos.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem. That
Oh, thank you so much. Really excited to be here. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, no, and then you know, hopefully we're going to be able to say Mayor.
I know, I can't wait.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes,
oh my gosh,
amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to do amazing things. We're rooting for you. We are always very supportive of you.
Yes, we are.
So, we're excited to share all the great things that you're going to be doing. But what you've done so far up to date, what are some of those things that you're mostly proud of?
I am really proud about how we as a community have really continued to come together over the past several years. When I came into office, there were just a ton of things I wanted to work on getting done. I wanted to bring people together, including with sports groups, with youth sports, and with the senior citizens, and with different stakeholder groups, faith communities. And it has been so much fun because I don't do the whole district boundary thing. I'm running in District 4, but anyone from throughout West Covina who needs me, who I can be of help to, I will really work hard to battle for whatever they need. And it has been really just absolutely exciting because there's so much of a lifeblood within the community every single day. There are things that are happening. They're just magical. And it isn't all this drama stuff that people see at City Council. The thing that really happens the most is families with parents raising their children and grandparents being together, and schools and school districts just living their lives, and it has been incredible. Job opportunities all over the place, people supporting different beautification efforts, on and on and on. It's been amazing.
I love it.
You know, something that I love about you, and I'm not sure, but I'm just going to say it because it's something that I feel in my heart I should say today. But we've seen you from the very beginning when you were campaigning for the seat, and ever since then, like, we saw a very happy person all the time, very positive. And I know it's been challenging. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about the challenges that you faced on the city council, and we've seen tears come out of your eyes, and I think those tears are a testament of how sincere and how genuine you really are, because you get emotional on the dais because you're really passionate about what you believe and what you want to do. And I think are some of those tears due to frustration sometimes as well?
Well, there's frustration in the sense that, to me, various things that are common sense don't end up being passed by the majority. We all have different alignments on different issues, but let's say, for example, with a street sweeping issue that the community is really upset about. At the meeting when we talked about the street sweeping program, I asked that we take some time and step back, not have enforcement, follow the sweepers around. Let's just work on rolling this out properly, and then making sure to think it through and not do this whole approach of ready, fire, aim, and just operate that way. Instead, we need to be very thoughtful. I thought what I was proposing was reasonable, but the majority did not agree, and people are predictably really upset. They already brought up different concerns during the workshops that were held about how we don't need street sweeping every single week, and it doesn't have to be the same treatment of all streets for the entire city each week, because there's some places that are really dirty that need more cleaning and some that need less. And so what I proposed was that we just focus our resources on the areas that need more help, and with the areas that don't, then we don't have to sweep those areas as frequently. I also proposed that we that we be mindful that we have to have no park. That we can't have a situation where there's no parking on both sides, and we have to think about the needs of persons with disabilities who can't walk far to park their cars, and then they have to go all the way to their house, or there are other situations where there are parking issues that where people can't move their cars, or they're delivery people, or whatever the case may be, and yet, in spite of how I tried to reason it out in a policy-oriented way, they still voted differently. Another area is the city yard. I don't want the city yard sold. The city yard is where we have all of the support for what we do throughout the city, and they want to sell the city yard and then to move the fire station there from fire station 1 there, they wanted to move that to City Hall. It's extraordinarily expensive. It's just a waste with how the fire station was to cost far less, but now there's this expanded plan that they did, and that's costing millions and millions of dollars more, and it's unnecessary. There's the management of the sportsplex. I think that we need to return the sportsplex to a private management, so that way not only can the facilities be more optimally used, but also we can make sure that we have space for the community too. I could just go on and on. There's so many things that I just feel like are moving in the wrong direction, and I've tried in a thoughtful way to be very expressive of these things and to lay out from a policy standpoint why we should move in a different direction. But the others on council, we just don't agree. And so that part is extremely frustrating, because I believe that the things that I've been proposing and supporting, including our being against the health department establishment, that is a waste. Mm-hmm. We wasted American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA money on that. There's so many things that are these awful ideas that don't work. And all I wanted to do was to get past these and to focus on the other things that we need to do with infrastructure strengthening, as well as more money for road rehabilitation and supporting youth programs more, and so many other things. But we can't do that when there's all this money spent and wasted just on other things. And the other difficulty I have is that as much as I love events, I would like for us to take more money and to spend on things that help residents longer term. Let's say supporting the playgrounds being updated instead of spending $55,000 on one-day festival. I mean, things like that. I mean, I actually try my best to be responsive in everything, but I feel like I keep being in the minority with all this, with items that to me are common sense. And so that's all of this gets to be extraordinarily frustrating, but I keep on fighting the fight because it's important for all of us to keep pushing hard for doing the right thing.
Yeah, I see it where, putting the money where you say, and then utilizing the GWC to put on the city events. Hallelujah. That's what I see right there, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, I'm supportive of that. As you know, I tried, but they didn't, It's really sad, because GWC is the premier business organization in town. There's nothing that comes close to it, and frankly, that includes any city-driven efforts. GWC, it's driven from the private sector and forming here with the nonprofit for the private sector, with supporting businesses in town. And we as a city, we should be supportive of these efforts, and we should join together. But it just hasn't been what I would prefer to happen. But the reason why it's been so difficult is because I don't have the numbers with the opinions that I have. I am not in the majority most of the time. There are some things that I work together with them on, and I appreciate them for that. But on a great many things, it has been very difficult.
And we've seen your efforts. I mean, we've seen it. But you've also done so many wonderful things. I made myself a little bullet point note here with what you've done a lot for the school districts, for, like you mentioned earlier, youth sports, for public works, for neighborhood watch groups, the homelessness cleanup. I mean, you've done some pretty fabulous things in our community, and that says a lot. Because I don't know when you find the time to do all these things.
Right.
I really don't.
Well, the key is just through people being active, and that's what I'm really most proud of. Woodgrove Park is an example where it was just really unsafe to be there at night or even during the day. There were homeless or unhoused individuals who were literally sleeping and they had encampments in the bushes, and they'd sleep behind there. There'd be drug deals and graffiti and all sorts of awful stuff. That all got cleaned up. I was able successfully to get more than $260,000 for improvements for Woodgrove Park. And then after it got all cleaned up, then families have picnics there now. And it's just nice. And then on top of that, a Neighborhood Watch has organized. There have been several Neighborhood Watch groups that have organized around that area, and there's been a noticeable difference. We still have more to do, but I am a real big believer in getting people actively involved. I always ask people, what do you care about? Tell me what you need, and I will find a way to be of support, whether it's youth groups or senior citizen organizations or environmental groups or faith communities or whoever. I'm here to be of support, and I do not care what part of West Covina people are from. If people need me, I am just more than happy to do it, because it is not merely a matter of, just do for District 4 constituents. I am here to support the entire city of West Covina because I love our city. Our family's been here for 52 years, and if I can continue operating in a way that really brings folks together in a positive way, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and you are, and we've have introduced you to a lot of people because you've come to our events, and yes, you are correct. You do, even if it's not your district, we still introduce you, and you still hear them out. You know, when you come to our events, you will say, "Oh, hey, this is Mayor Pro Tem, Ollie Cantos," and then we introduce you, and you'll do your best to hear them out, see what you can do, and point them in the right direction.
Well, I just love it, and that's how partnership should be.
Right.
And that does not mean that we all have to have agreement on every issue all the time. I mean, we're all human. We all have our different opinions. But to me, when it comes to appropriate and effective city governance, we just need to identify at a practical level, how do we support businesses? What do the nonprofits need at a practical level to advance their respective missions? I really believe that the secret to effective and efficient governance, as generic as this sounds, is literally to listen to what residents want and not to have our own preconceived ideas. And that's why I am the only member of the city council who convenes quarterly district meetings. In fact, I've already had 13 of them. The 14th one, I've only been in office for 3+ years. I've already had 13 of them. The 14th district meeting will be on June the 30th at the Taylor House. And so I try to go to different places, but every quarter I invite anyone who wants to come to share what their concerns are about their neighborhoods, about the city, and then I have senior staff who is there who I can dispatch to take care of those things, and then I follow up to make sure those things are done, and then we just rinse, repeat. And it has been remarkable if we just listen to what residents want. And at a practical level, what do they need? Is there something that they need with regard to their roads or overgrown vegetation, or if there are issues with regard to homelessness, or there's someone who needs a job, or they'd like to learn about education opportunities, or whatever the situation is, we just do it one by one by one. And it has been just incredible. There are literally tons of stories of what I can share that we don't have time for here, but just the magic is it just happens every week.
I love it.
That's so beautiful. But so do you get do you have like a large group of people who come to these town halls to support you, or what how many people do you think come to these things?
On average, they're roughly 15 to 30, roughly. Okay. But the thing that I actually do is I have a specific format for each meeting. I give every nonprofit who's there an opportunity to share about their upcoming events and to ask for volunteers to help them.
Oh, that's nice.
Any business who attends, I give them a chance to share what they have to offer, so that way they can get more business there. And then on top of all of that, I then do updates from my end with regard to things that I'm working on, and then I open up the floor for people to raise issue after issue, and right on the spot we have staff there that will commit to doing things, and then I make a note of those and I follow up on literally every single one of those, and then we close out, and then we invite everybody to stay and to network with each other and to build the friendships that can begin by just taking the time to get to know people they don't know already.
Right. And you know what? the job's not done yet, right? The job still has to go on, and this year you are campaigning, right? You're
Right.
campaigning, and you know, we have you on here because, you know, we're just as much as you're a big supporter of us, you know, we wanted to have you come on here and share and let people know, like, hey, I'm ready. You know
what, JR? You know what's so incredible though? That I feel like I just met him yesterday. It's been almost 4 years, and I can't believe we're here now.
No, I remember too when I met him.
It
We were
feels
doing an
unreal.
event outside, right here, outside our office, and they said, "Hey, we want to introduce you to." He's campaigning.
It was Steve Bennett.
Yeah, he's campaigning, and we went out there. We met you.
That was on August 3rd, 2022.
Yes.
Wow, you remember that?
Yeah.
And I think it was on a Tuesday.
It was when the city was doing their
National Night
neighborhood
Out.
National Night Out. Yes, and I remember very clearly that day. It seems like just yesterday. So that means that, folks, life is short.
And
My
time
God,
flies.
Yes, and time just, you know, before you know it, here we are 3.5 years later. Now, you know, soon to be mayor of West Covina, and that's an incredible milestone, I'm sure. And you're gonna take that, you know, probably even more serious than I don't know. I would take it a lot more serious than my current position if I was gonna be the mayor. I mean, I think that's wonderful. I think you're gonna do great things. You're gonna be a lot busier because more and more you get invited to almost everything. I mean, you're representing, you know, the beautiful city of West Covina, because, you know, we do have a beautiful city here in West Covina. I recently saw on Instagram that there was a fire at Gallister Park. I mean, and that was kind of breaking my heart because I know that's one of the locations here, and I don't know, do you have any update on that?
Well, I really have got to thank our amazing fire department. Not only did they do a magnificent job, but there were jurisdictions from across the region, roughly 8 to 10 jurisdictions, who came together to help us. And that is what I love about our firefighters and firefighters in other locales. Whenever anyone needs anyone else, they're there. And I'm really grateful to all of those jurisdictions and to our firefighters who really were successful at stopping what could have been a really horrible disaster with the destruction to homes. But because our firefighters were so awesome and so well trained, and because of the coordination, there were helicopters ahead, up above. There were all sorts of assets on the ground. It really, they did a magnificent job. And so as far as the cause of those fires, that is all still currently under investigation. But suffice it to say that all resources necessary to determine the causes are being dedicated to making sure that we know how things happen, but also in the longer term to make sure that the homeowners up in that area stay safe.
Yes, because that would have been very devastating for our city. So I was really worried about that, and the residents that were being evacuated from that particular area. I'm glad that, you know, that it didn't turn out to be something that we could be, you know, that we would be talking about right now, that we'd probably be very sad about. But I'm glad that they contained it on time and that everybody was safe, and here we are.
Here we
Yes,
are.
yes,
Exactly.
yes.
So before we go, is there anything else people in your district need to know or do so they can support you in your election?
Oh, thank you very much. First, not relating to the campaign, I want to make sure that people have a way directly to reach me. And the information will be on your screen that will have my city number and my city email address. And then separate from that, I will also be sharing information for people as to how they can call, because I also receive texts and I pick up, and I actually have all of my phones right here.
He has 3 phones, everybody.
Yes.
I tried to silence them as we were having this podcast, but I'm here literally 7 days a week. But the bigger issue beyond me is for your audience, because I know you have a vast regional audience that are not even just from here in West Covina, but from all over. And that's a big testament to you guys. I really would love just to assert to everybody that everyone has the power to make a personal difference. Whatever city that you're in, get involved. Find ways to be of support. And for those who are here in West Covina, I invite you to join alongside with me in continuing the journey of what we have done together. We have got to continue to push hard for positive change here in West Covina. I know that sounds like some sort of a campaign slogan, but it's true. I dedicate literally up to 80 hours a week in addition to my day job, with which I have separately. I spend a lot of time on this. And the reason why is because I love our fellow residents. I just absolutely love folks, and if anyone needs me, I'm just here to be of support. And I'm really grateful to the two of you, and to all of GWC for being so supportive of and being such a wonderful example of the positive change that is possible when people truly come together, like the way you all make it a habit to do all the time.
Oh, that's
you,
so
thank you.
sweet. No, thank you so much. And we have a lot of respect for you and for all the great work that you are doing and that you're going to do moving forward in your next, 4 years. And so everybody, his information will be at the bottom. Like he said, call him, text him. I'm telling you right now, he will return your call and he will text you back, because that's who Ollie is. He truly, truly cares about this community, and both Jerry and I, I'm speaking for you.
Yes,
we're very proud of you, and we look forward to another 4 years in this beautiful city. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.